Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam class. This is from Canto 2, Chapter 9, and Text 13. We're very fortunate to have this morning Her Grace Anandarupa, Devi Dasi, ISKCON DC to give the class. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna.
It's great to be here, and thank you for this opportunity in this sacred month of Kartik to glorify the Supreme Lord's dear devotees, his spiritual world, Guru and Krishna. So, Prabhuji, whenever you're ready, we can start.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, Mataji, please start. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, I'll be starting with Radha Madha and then Srimad Bhagavatam invocation and Guru Pranati. All right, we have some devotees who have joined already. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Happy Kartik to everyone.
Mataji, please proceed.
Can you hear? I'm trying to play the keyboard here. Can you hear it?
You're trying to play a keyboard?
Yes. Can you hear it?
No, not yet.
How about now? Can you hear it?
No. Oh, now I can. I heard a little bit.
Okay. You know what? I'll just sing Jai Radha Madha because anyway, the volume is not, audible.
You're going to try to play a keyboard along with it? Is that what you were trying to do?
Yeah. I have done many times, but I don't know why it's not working right now. Let's go ahead and I will start Jai Radha Madha. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braj Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Shyam Sundar Shri Radhe Jai Radha Madan Mohan Shri Radhe Jai Radha Govind Shri Radhe Jai Radha Gopinath Shri Radhe Jai Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiriyet. Shravam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantasto He Bhadrani Vidunoti Surhatsatam Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagvat Sevaya Bhagavateruttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shiyutapadakamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagara Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishbhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripa tadaham vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, we are in this Canto 2, Chapter 9, in the section with beautiful description of spiritual kingdom. And in this chapter, where Shukdev Goswami, he's answering some questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj. For benefit of the humanity, we are so fortunate to do Shravan and Kirtan of Srimad Bhagavatam in this sacred month of Kartik, and that too, where the spiritual kingdom, the opulences of spiritual kingdom are being described. So this text number 13, let us recite this verse. I'm going to recite it once, and then those of you who are interested, you may also recite. bhrājiṣṇubhir parito virājate lasad-vimānāvalibhir lasad-vimānāvalibhir mahātmanām vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ savidyud-abhrāvalibhir yathā nabhaḥ. Hare Krishna. Anyone would else like to recite? Please go ahead.
bhrājiṣṇubhir parito virājate lasad-vimānāvalibhir mahātmanām vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ savidyud-abhrāvalibhir yathā nabhaḥ. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. bhrājiṣṇubhir parito virājate lasad-vimānāvalibhir mahātmanām vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ savidyud-abhrāvalibhir yathā nabhaḥ. Hare Krishna.
bhrājiṣṇubhir parito virājate lasad-vimānāvalibhir mahātmanām vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ savidyud-abhrāvalibhir yathā nabhaḥ. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. bhrājiṣṇubhir parito virājate lasad-vimānāvalibhir mahātmanām vidyotamānaḥ pramadottamādyubhiḥ savidyud-abhrāvalibhir yathā nabhaḥ. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else? Hare Krishna. All right. We can do the translation and purport now. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Vaikuṇṭha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes, all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great mahātmās or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions. And all these combined together appear just like the sky decorated with both clouds and lightning. Purport, Jai Srila Prabhupada. It appears that in Vaikuṇṭha planets there are also airplanes brilliantly glowing, and they are occupied by the great devotees of the Lord, with ladies of celestial beauty as brilliant as lightning. As there are airplanes, so there must be different types of carriages like airplanes, but they may not be driven machines as we have experienced in this world. Because everything is of the same nature of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, the airplanes and carriages are of same quality as Brahman. Although there is nothing except Brahman, one should not mistakenly think that there is only void and no variegatedness. Thinking like that is due to the poor fund of knowledge. Otherwise, no one would have such a misconception of voidness in Brahman. As there are airplanes, ladies and gentlemen, so there must be cities and houses and everything else just suitable to the particular planets. One should not carry the ideas of imperfection from this world to the transcendental world and not take into consideration the nature of the atmosphere as completely free from the influence of time as described previously. So these few verses we have been reading, and next few verses also, they are beautifully describing the Vaikuṇṭha planets. Which one is that? Anybody? Speak up, please. Haribol, what is
Mataji, you broke up a little bit, so we couldn't hear the question. That you, if you could repeat
what is
that.
So there are innumerable Vaikuṇṭha planets. Now, in Canto 2, in another chapter, probably it's chapter 6, it's described that nature of spiritual kingdom. It is having innumerable spiritual, it is having innumerable Vaikuṇṭhas, Vaikuṇṭha planets. Topmost of the Vaikuṇṭha planet, I wanted just some interactions, so I asked, yes, Dhir Krishna Prabhu. Which
Hare
one?
Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisance. Yeah, as per Srimad Bhagavatam and other scriptures, the topmost spiritual planet is Golok Vrindavan.
Very beautiful. And what is the characteristics of spiritual world? Three characteristics, three-pad vibhuti. Madhavi Mataji nicely described that. Three-pad vibhuti is the nature of Vaikuṇṭhas, the spiritual kingdom. And that is deathlessness, fearlessness, and no anxiety. So in material world, which is 1/4 of the total creation, all these are present. Whereas spiritual world, which is the 3/4 of the creation, these three characteristics predominate. And that's why, we read about such beautiful opulences of the spiritual kingdom. Even Chaitanya Charitamrita has whole chapter dedicated to it. Now, in these verses, which are describing the Vaikuṇṭha planets, the inhabitants, how they dress, what they do, what their mood and consciousness is, what their activities are, how their faith is, all that is beautifully described. So let me share a nice acronym I thought of for today's class, okay? And basically, these verses we are reading, and 13th verse today we are reading, this is a very deep and poetic window to the Vaikuṇṭha Lok, filled with variegated spiritual opulence. Prabhupada uses the word variegatedness. What does that mean? In simple, language, for us it means variety. A lot of beautiful varieties there. So this verse shows how spiritual world is not void. Then how is it? It is radiant, it's dynamic, and it's saturated with, Prabhupada explains in his several purports, this spiritual kingdom is saturated with prema bhakti. That is what the inhabitants of spiritual have in their heart. That's the qualification for entry to the spiritual world. And it is all centered around loving service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna. So in this talk, which will go on roughly for another 45 minutes, it is structured around an acronym, HOME, H-O-M-E, HOME. And I will share with you all just shortly that I found that it perfectly ties with the theme of Vaikuṇṭha to this sacred Kartik month, this Damodar Mass, where devotees, the bhaktas, they strive to make their heart a home for the Lord. So we read from Srila Prabhupada how we can make our hearts the abode of Radha and Krishna. Okay, so let's take a look at this acronym. We already read the verse. And in essence, Srila Prabhupada reveals that spiritual world is not void, but full of spiritual variegatedness. Why? There are cities, there are homes, there are relationships, there are loving exchanges. So it's all made of eternity, bliss, and knowledge, which is also commonly known as Satchit Ananda feature. Now, this acronym, I try to incorporate by H the variegated beauty and oneness of Vaikuṇṭha. To understand it better, with the phrase heavenly harmony. H stands for heavenly harmony. And do not worry, I will constantly keep revisiting this acronym, so everybody goes back as a take-home message, this short acronym. O, I relate to opulence of bhakti, that true spiritual wealth lies in devotional service. That's the opulence. And When we think of Kartik month, we think of Lord Damodar, but we also think of compassion of Srimati Radharani, right? So that's her motherly mercy. M stands for motherly mercy. And E is for eternal engagement, right? So we have Sambandh, Abhideya, Prayojan. Sambandh is about the Sambandha Gyan with the Supreme Lord, and in that remembrance, when the living entity engages in Abhideya, the activities of devotional service, which is the eternal engagement. And then in this way, they attain the of life, the they rise to the platform that I happened to hear from last verse. Nitya Baddhas and Nitya Siddhas. So in spite of being in the zone of Nitya Baddhas, we have the beautiful blessing to be Nitya Siddha if we revive our pure consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, and get engaged again in our eternal engagement, which means making our hearts the home of Radha and Krishna. So now let's explore each section deeply. And just as Vaikuṇṭha sky is decorated with, what did we read in the verse? What is the Vaikuṇṭha sky decorated with? Anyone? Please speak up. Don't raise hand. Don't ask permission. Just speak up. What is the Vaikuṇṭha sky decorated with? What did we just read? Very quickly. If nobody answers, I'll move forward. Okay, so the Vaikuṇṭha sky is described. It's decorated with clouds and lightning. Okay, so now let's take a look in the acronym H, H-O-M-E, home. I said H relates to heavenly harmony, the variegated beauty and oneness of Vaikuṇṭha. Now, the Vaikuṇṭha sky, it's mentioned, appears like the sky decorated with both clouds and lightning. And here we can understand the clouds represent the, kind of, this is very poetic way also, and it will be a nice change to the way we read philosophy. So here we can understand the clouds represent soft compassion and humility of the devotees, while the lightning represents the spark of their pure love. Look at that. So what is the message for us? What is the lesson for us? Is the spiritual world is not static. It is alive with harmony. And in Vaikuṇṭha, everything moves for Krishna, not against him. So Srila Prabhupada would say the spiritual world is full of variety, but all that variety is centered around Krishna. And that is unity in diversity. Such a powerful point. And let's take a look at some pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam. So there is a pastime in Canto 3. This is Canto 2 going on. For those of you who are reading it like first time, so that pastime will appear. And for those of you who are already familiar with it, it will be a nice refresher. So Chatur Kumars, they enter Vaikuṇṭha. And what happens there? They smell the tulsi fragrance from Lord's feet. And what is the result of that? Their hearts melt and their Brahmanical pride vanishes. So the fragrance itself was so spiritually potent that it awakened dormant love for Krishna. And this is an example of a glimpse of heavenly harmony. I will give you a few more examples, and that will help us develop the appreciation for the opulences of the spiritual kingdom and relate it closely to the phrase of heavenly harmony. Okay, so we have acronym HOME. H stands for heavenly harmony, and this is with reference to characteristics and opulences, the vibhutis of the spiritual world. I could just reflect on. So then there is another pastime where Lord Narayan enters into Vaikuṇṭha. And the description of Vaikuṇṭha Loka shows everyone has a form similar to the Lord. Now, even when we read Ajamil's pastime, right? So Yamdutas came who were ferocious looking, and Vishnudutas also appeared, who had four-armed form of Lord Vishnu. So in Vaikuṇṭha Loka, everyone has forms similar to Lord, but we read in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, yet there are other living entities also in their Swarup form, which are sometimes they can be animal form and all different forms. So now, even though some entities have forms similar to Lord, yet they never forget that He is supreme. So that's true harmony. That's equality without envy. Now, as we are going through these different pastimes, trying to tie it to heavenly harmony, we should reflect on Kartik connection, a nice, sweet meditation that in this Damodar Mass, devotees also strive to live harmoniously, overcoming all the anarthas and all, and trying to improve their loving service. What do? They offer lamps, they offer prayers, they offer their hearts to re-establish unity under Sri Sri Radha Damodar's loving gaze. Okay, so that was a very deeply reflective point about variegated beauty and oneness of Vaikuṇṭha, which helps us have appreciation for heavenly harmony in the spiritual kingdom. Now, O, the letter O in the acronym HOME, O we can tie to the opulence of bhakti, and that is where true spiritual wealth lies, in devotional service. So it's described in Vaikuṇṭha, there are vimāns. Vimāns means airplanes. And there are cities, and there are beautiful inhabitants. But their opulence is not material. It's all expression of bhakti rasa, devotional sweetness. So Srila Prabhupada, he would say, in Vaikuṇṭha, the residents are all opulent, but their opulence is used for serving Krishna. That is the difference between Vaikuṇṭha and this material world. We look at the pastime of Gajendra. The liberations are described very nicely, 5 kinds of liberation. But here in Gajendra was an elephant who was, literally in the jaws of death. And at the last moment, he remembered by Sukriti from past life, and he offered prayers to the Supreme Lord, plucking a lotus from the pond, though, his crocodile was there literally fighting over him and about to end his life. So the elephant king Gajendra called out in helplessness, and Lord personally came from where? From Vaikuṇṭha on his carrier Garud to deliver him. That's how Gajendra was liberated. And his call of devotion was more opulent than any jewel-studded crown. And in a bit, I will talk about this Vaikuṇṭha consciousness is not about some specific place, Vaikuṇṭha. It is indeed a state of consciousness also. So we are talking about here opulence of bhakti, that the true spiritual wealth lies in devotional service. We read about Sudama Vipra and Lord's opulence. In Canto 2, their pastime we will read in more length. But Sudama, though materially poor, was spiritually wealthier than Indra. And Krishna washed his feet and blessed him with both material and spiritual riches. Showing what? Showing that bhakti turns simplicity into splendor. Such an amazing opulence. So in this beautiful month of Kartik, even a smallest lamp offered to Lord Damodar becomes an opulent service. And not that devotees, the bhaktas, they are trying to show how opulent my service is. No, that's not the mood. The mood is to please Krishna, because Krishna accepts love. Krishna accepts devotion. Priti purvakam. All right. So we talked about, who remembers what H stands for, what O stands for? Anyone? Hare Krishna. Yes, Niru Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. H stands for heavenly harmony and O stands for opulence of bhakti.
Very good. So now let us see how we can make our hearts residence for Radha and Krishna, how we can make our hearts the abode of Radha Krishna. Okay. Now, M stands for motherly mercy. And I mentioned earlier that devotees, they pray to Srimati Radharani, because Srimati Radharani is so compassionate. So she helps us achieve the grace of Supreme Lord. And especially in this month of Damodar, we should pray. We should pray. And E is for eternal engagement. So let's take a look. So we are reading about Vaikuṇṭha planets, and Vaikuṇṭha atmosphere is described in this verse because of devotees' love. Vaikuṇṭha atmosphere literally glows. Yet even beyond Vaikuṇṭha lies the jewel of spiritual abodes, the topmost Vaikuṇṭha planet, Goloka Vrindavan, where everything moves by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So just as lightning brightens the clouds, so the decoration of Vaikuṇṭha was described earlier, right? So just as lightning brightens the clouds, Radharani's mercy brightens the hearts of all souls. And without her compassion, even the splendor of Vaikuṇṭha would appear dim. Srila Prabhupada says Radharani is the pleasure potency of Krishna. If we approach Krishna through Radharani, we can easily attain him, for she recommends the devotee. And that's why when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can one of you quickly comment what does Hare stand for? And of course, we understand Ram and Krishna, but what does Hare stand for? Please go ahead, Niru Mataji.
Hare stands for Radha Rani Mataji.
So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is our cry. We are first approaching Srimati Radharani. So through Radharani, we can easily attain him. So what is the lesson for us? That even in Vaikuṇṭha, love reigns higher than law. Love reigns higher than law. And in Goloka, Radharani's motherly mercy opens the gate to the highest realization. So Krishna is Bhavagrahi Janardhan, right? He sees the essence of devotion in our heart. And he belongs to one who loves him selflessly. So now, let's come to the pastime of Mother Yashoda. She binds the Supreme. In this Kartik month, we pray to Lord Damodar, and this is usually in temples and in homes, we have Yashoda Damodar picture or murtis like this, and we offer lamps. We offer flowers and lamps. So here in that form, we see that she is binding baby Krishna with the rope. And we can remember his childhood pastimes. And the rope was always 2 fingers short. And what do they represent? They represent our effort and Lord's mercy. So finally, by her pure motherly love, Vatsalya, Prem, she succeeded. So this pastime reveals that the infinite Supreme Lord, he submits to the pure affection of his devotees. So just like Mother Yashoda with her motherly love and compassion binds the Supreme Lord, devotees can approach Srimati Radharani and pray for her mercy. And so the devotees, we as devotees, we can then improve in our devotion, in our bhakti, and what can we achieve by that? Are we trying to make Krishna belong to us? Are we trying to prove to Krishna that we love him selflessly? No. That is mercy which is showered. That is the grace which is showered by the Supreme Lord when one approaches him through Srimati Radharani. So now, just as the sky of Vaikuṇṭha shines with lightning, like maidens and glowing airplanes, the heart of a devotee during Kartik glows. How? When lit by the lamp of Damodar Ashtakam prayers, the mercy of motherly devotees who can bind the Lord by love. So Mother Yashoda was able to bind Krishna not with ropes, but with her love. And this is the process to bind Krishna, Priti Purvakam, with love and devotion. So in this sacred month of Kartik, the recommendation is to offer daily ghee lamps to Lord Damodar with sincere prayer. O Lord, please make my heart the rope that binds you forever. And we can meditate on Srimati Radharani's mercy, which is the light that illuminates our consciousness, which can help us cultivate spiritual practices, nourish and nurture our spiritual practices, so we can also develop this Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. Okay, now let's come to the acronym HOME. We already talked about HOM and E. E stands for eternal engagement. Now, how can we make our hearts the home of Radha and Krishna? So this verse, the purport, the translation ends with the image of sky decorated with clouds and lightning, which is vast, luminous, and ever-moving. Similarly, our spiritual life should be a dynamic offering, not mere renunciation, but positive engagement in Krishna's service. Now, the principles of surrender are there. Top 2 talk about accept everything which is favorable for devotional service, reject everything which is not favorable. What else can we think of when we are hearing what I just said, that our spiritual life should be a dynamic offering? It doesn't have to be boring, sitting in a corner and just chanting. I mean, if you're that elevated that you are finding rasa and experiencing, the bliss for the pleasure of the Lord in doing that, but majority Kali age, living entities, they need something dynamic. So spiritual life should be dynamic offering. And Bhagavad Gita verse says, Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam. I mean, this transcendental knowledge is being described there. It's about bhakti. It's dynamic. So the lesson is Vaikuṇṭha is not just a place. It is a consciousness. I mean, Vaikuṇṭha planet, spiritual kingdom, is a part of creation, but it is also consciousness, which is free from envy and anxiety. Tripad Vibhuti, we read. Vaikuṇṭha means without anxiety. So we created that atmosphere. We create that atmosphere wherever we live by constantly engaging in loving devotional service. I was reading Srila Prabhupada said in one of the lectures, this temple, this house, this body, let it be Vaikuṇṭha by always remembering Krishna. Then you are always liberated. So now we hear about gopis, their pastimes, and their eternal engagement. So when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard Ramanand Rai describe gopis' love, he wept He said their love is the standard of perfection. That selfless service, expecting nothing but Krishna's pleasure, we learned from Vaishnavacharya's commentaries that selfless service, expecting nothing but Krishna's pleasure, is the essence of Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. That is the consciousness of the residents of the Vaikuṇṭha. And that is why, if you look, the Kali age, living entities, Nitya Baddha's consciousness, Nitya Siddha's consciousness, there is such a gap, right? So we have to undergo sadhana bhakti practice, sadhana bhakti to Vaidhi bhakti. And then, Krishna guarantees. Bhagavad Gita has the promise, the assurance that whoever thinks of me at the last moment, I will take care of him. He will achieve that state. That consciousness is needed. And for that, we practice. We have to put in our effort, and, Krishna will reciprocate. That is a promise. So, as a part of our eternal engagement practice, in the morning, we can chant sincerely, okay? In the daytime, we can still chant if we get chance, but we can offer our work, our responsibilities, our family, whatever we cook with love and devotion to Krishna. And then, so throughout the day, let us say in the evening, we again offer a lamp during Kartik especially, making our home glow like spiritual sky. And let's talk about nighttime. What can we do? We can hear or read Srimad Bhagavatam, remembering the glowing airplanes described in this verse. And what does that remind us? It reminds us of devotees flying in that beautiful effulgent sky in loving service, thinking of Krishna. So this verse says that spiritual world is vidyotamānaḥ, means effulgent, because it is filled with loving devotees. And the real airplane, something to think about, let's reflect on the real airplane that lifts us. Hare Krishna.
वो दे दे बकेट में रखते हैं स्टोर में रखते हैं अभी तो बकेट है
Prabhu, can you mute? There is Monica Mataji, you got unmuted. All right. So where was I? Okay, I was trying to recollect my thoughts. Yeah. So the real airplane, this verse and the verses around this, they describe the beautiful spiritual kingdom. And we are talking about airplanes here. When we think of airplane, we think of takeoff, landing, right? So the real airplane that lifts us in spiritual kingdom, it's not mechanical. What is it powered by? Anyone? Hare Krishna. Anyone? Please comment. What is the airplane in spiritual world powered by? What do you think? Haribol. Love and service. What else? Bhakti. Wonderful. Okay, so we talked about the acronym. I hope you liked it. And in a very simple manner and beautiful manner, whenever actually you read this word home, I hope everyone is reminded of spiritual kingdom, its opulences, and how there is unity in diversity. All varieties centered on Krishna. How the true wealth is devotion. That's the real opulence and not the possessions. And how Radharani and Yashoda's love, they bind the Lord. That is a great example for us. How to please the Lord. And how the service, the loving service, transforms our home into Vaikuṇṭha, which is our eternal engagement. So let us visualize our heart as the sky of Vaikuṇṭha. The clouds are the humility and compassion. Okay. The lighting, I mean, if you want, you can be more poetic. You can think of more inspiring ways how you can think of sky of Vaikuṇṭha, but the lightning is our eagerness to serve. And the glowing airplanes, the vimanas, our prayers carrying us towards Krishna. So Prabhupada, nicely inspires us, saying, by chanting and serving, even this material world becomes spiritualized. And that is Krishna consciousness, to turn your home into Vaikuṇṭha. So in this Damodar month, let us illuminate our inner sky here and here with the brilliance of pure bhakti, loving devotional service, until our hearts truly become the home of Shri Shri Radha Damodar. And when the sky of spiritual world glows with divine airplanes and lightning like devotees, it is not a scene of opulence. What is this a scene of? It's so amazing, isn't it? If you literally visualize it, it is a scene of love. You watch those movies nowadays, so much violence is there. Just a glance and in distaste, you will curl your lips, and it is not a scene of opulence. It is not a scene of love. But Vaikuṇṭha description, which we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, in our scriptures, even the clouds thunder Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and the lightning flashes with Radha's mercy. So let us make our own hearts that sky where Radha and Krishna eternally dwell. Okay? So I have some takeaways, actually, how we build Vaikuṇṭha home within. Okay? So the Vaikuṇṭha world is not void. It is full of dynamic love and divine activity, and every movement glorifies Krishna. This is number one takeaway. Spiritual variegatedness is real. Then let's always remember there is unity in diversity. Every devotee serves in a unique way, yet all in one mood to please the Lord. So harmony is the hallmark of spiritual world. H, divine harmony, we talked about, right, in the acronym. Then we talked about opulences. Opulences means devotion, not decoration. So true wealth is heart's purity, not the external splendor. So bhakti itself is the greatest ornament. Let's talk about mercy. So mercy is higher than merit. And in Kartik, Radharani's and Mother Yashoda's compassion opens the doors that austerity alone cannot. So in the month of Kartik, devotees are performing austerities, right? They are lovingly remembering Supreme Lord. And so in this Kartik month, Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani, if we approach them, and actually we approach them through disciplic succession. Let's not ignore that devotees and spiritual master, there is no mention of them. No, not like that. The whole approach to devotional service is through the medium of disciplic succession. And then we talked about how love binds the infinite, how Krishna becomes conquerable. Is devotee trying to conquer Krishna? No, but Krishna gets conquered by the love of devotee. So the Damodar pastime shows that affection, not strength, binds Krishna, but love is the supreme power. And then through this bhakti we have been talking about, it transforms homes into Vaikuṇṭha. Any place becomes spiritual when filled with Shravana, Kirtan, and Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembrance of the Lord, both within and without, meaning outside and inside the heart. So Krishna accepts effort, not perfection. Bhavagrahi Janardana, I said. So the 2 fingers short of Yashoda's robe symbolize our sincere endeavor and Krishna's grace, meeting halfway. And does every offering count in Kartik month? Even a small ghee lamp offered with love shines brighter in Lord's eyes than some, heavenly jewels. So, one more take-home message, takeaway message. Just as Vaikuṇṭha sky has endless motion and brilliance, so our bhakti grows eternally through engagement. Service never ends, it evolves. And so the goal is not to reach another planet, but to make our heart the glowing sky where Radha Krishna reside eternally. Okay, so there is a famous Vaishnav song, Man Mandir Krishna Murari. That's the Vaishnav song. Okay, I'm not able to recollect that, but I could just remember Krishna Murari. So that tells us, that particular beautiful Vaishnav prayer tells us how we can make our heart residence for the divine couple to have their eternal pastimes. Okay, so they fly on the fuel of bhakti. The glowing vimans of Vaikuṇṭhas are not powered by engines. They fly on fuel of bhakti. And when our hearts begins to radiate the same light of devotion, we too are lifted to that eternal sky. So in this beautiful sacred month of Kartik, let's make our heart the home, the holy offering to merciful, eternal Radha Damodar. Hare Krishna. I would like to conclude this talk here. Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhagavad ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavin ki jai.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Very nice class. And I know this is the second time I've heard another acronym from you for the class, which is very nice. It makes people remember
Thank you.
key points about bhakti that you're describing. Dear devotees, this is the time to unmute yourself. You have a question, you have a takeaway, you definitely can unmute yourself and ask. And I see Prabhu's electronic hand is up now. So, who will please go ahead?
Hare Krishna.
Okay, somehow I can't hear.
Connection is little unstable today, so I could not hear anything Dhir Prabhu just said. Could you please repeat?
Yeah, my fault, Mataji. I was on mute.
Oh.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Mataji, beautiful class, and especially in this month of Kartik, it was really very, very inspiring to me personally, and beautiful points. I think whoever heard today's class, without fail, will get attracted to spiritual world. There is no doubt. I will say. One question, Mataji, I have is like you were talking about how spiritual world is a consciousness. Vaikuṇṭha is also a consciousness. So how to no matter, I mean, we know Kartik month is full of mercy and everything, but again, mercy and effort is there at the same time. um, I'm trying to phrase my question correctly. How let's say a lot of devotees travel to Vrindavan, Mayapur in this month of Kartik, right? But who are not able to visit, how can we still be in that consciousness, staying remotely? Or sometimes I also hear we go to these dham, and then we might not be really there at the same time. So just wanted to make sure that I can be move my mind more internally, my heart more internally, and see if I can be in that consciousness more.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Dhir Krishna Prabhu. That is a very beautiful question, which can help us practically relate to how in our day-to-day life we can be in Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. We can improve our spiritual practices so that we can come closer to Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. I am so tempted to put this question open to everyone, and I am very confident we will get many wonderful responses. So, dear devotees, some of you, I am aware, can present some very nice points. So please raise your hand right now, and I want to hear from you all. How do you think you can come closer to Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. Knowing what you know already, and for those of you who are new here today, definitely you will learn. It will be nice, beautiful realization for you. So please go ahead. Prabhuji's question is, we talked about Vaikuṇṭha consciousness. How can we cultivate it? How can we improve our consciousness? What can we do in our daily practices? All of us do not have the great fortune of traveling to the holy dham. And so what we can do locally, actually without even going out, within our homes also, what can we do? Please be quick. 1 point each. Everybody should have something to share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Peace have on the basis. It's all glories to the Prabhupada. Actually, a good many of the answers are in Nectar of Instruction, but since you said one, I'll just say one of them. It's the attitude towards devotion service. Our attitude towards devotion is very important. That's what's going to make it grow. But there are 3 of them that in Nectar of Instruction say, but I'll just say one: determination.
Very nice. So
Determination.
the attitude, and specifically you mentioned the point of determination. All right, Monica Mataji has commented, by doing Shravan of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam from our spiritual master, Sadhu Guru Shastra. Wonderful. Hare Krishna. All right, what else?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, always Vishnu Prabhupada. One that's coming to my mind is enthusiasm.
So
Enthusiasm, yeah.
determination, enthusiasm. So Rupa Goswami, he describes in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu 6 principles which help with the favorable advancement of devotional service, and 6 checkpoints one should be careful of, which will not help actually, which may cause fall down. And I would like to ask Jiva Tattva Prabhu, my husband, he is also here, he raised hand. Prabhuji, please add.
Hare Krishna, Devi. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, again, following the instructions of spiritual master is paramount, because he knows where we are, and by following his instruction, we can easily get the mercy of Lord Krishna.
Okay. Wonderful. Following the instructions of spiritual master. Dhir Krishna Prabhu.
No, Mataji, I'm hearing, I'm loving all the answers. Actually, I wanted to just like that answer. I raised my hand. Sorry.
Udashi Mataji says, by serving the devotees. Wonderful. All of you are listing such beautiful points. So Rupa Goswami, as we read the commentary, the Nectar of Devotion is the commentary by Srila Prabhupada. And he says that there are 5 ways which will be really helpful for someone to cultivate this pure Krishna consciousness. What are those 5 ways? Anyone remembers? Number 1. What is that? As a part of daily practice. And when I say as a part of daily practice, it is actually not just done with distractions. It's in the best possible manner, most attentive manner, with love and devotion. Yes, Niru Mataji. You know what? The phone is ringing, which is a little bit away from me. So I'm going to close camera, quickly mute the alarm and come back. Meanwhile, everybody, please think of those 5 points. Hare Krishna. Sorry about the interruption. Took care of it. Happens sometimes. So, Niru Mataji, please go ahead.
Mataji, daily chanting are minimum 16 rounds of Mahamantra with attention.
Okay. So, 1 point was following the instructions of spiritual master. And when one begins surrendering to spiritual master, as a part of instruction is one should follow 4 regulative principles and chant Mahamantra. And as a part of commitment and vow, 16 mala minimum is the recommendation. So if one is not there yet, they can still make an offering of Mahamantra with love and devotion. So I was talking about 5 ways which can tremendously help in spiritual advancement. And those are, yes, Dhir Krishna Prabhu has listed here: Sadhu Sangha, Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathuravas, and Vaishnav Seva. And if you want to understand it better in plain English, Sadhu Sangha is devotee association, and devotee association also covers the point of serving the saintly souls. So devotee association means it's a big umbrella. It is not just meeting devotees and taking their blessings. It is about, in their association, doing Shravan, Kirtan, Vishnu Smaran, engaging in devotional service basically. And then Nam Sankirtan means chanting, participating in chanting of the holy names. Okay, either you can do it as japa or as Harinam Sankirtan. And then Bhagavad Shravan, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading from the scriptures. Very nice. Mathuravas, visiting the holy places. Now the point came up, you cannot visit holy place for some reason. Then you create Vaikuṇṭha at home. You create Vrindavan at home. Srila Prabhupada so nicely encouraged everyone, place Tulsi, serve the deities, serve instructions of Guru. And in this way, one can cultivate and nourish spiritual consciousness, the Krishna consciousness, the Vaikuṇṭha consciousness, and then Vaishnav Seva. So that's it. Dhira Krishna Prabhu, you answered your question yourself. It's interesting. Sometimes we ask some questions and we little bit take few minutes and we realize the answers all are coming from within, And in this, I thought I actually did D&D on my phone and laptop, but for some reason, okay, I took care of it. So, and Jiva Tattva Prabhu says, Mathura Vas, also known as Madhur Avas, the sweet home of Madhurapati. So he is the Lord of sweetness. I hope we covered many points which are really helpful. Ultimately, it has to do with our developing, spiritualizing, transforming our desires. And when that happens, the mood and the consciousness, everything is connected to that. Hare Krishna. Did we cover all?
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Please, thank you so much. Please bless me. I can implement all these beautiful answers. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Is there any other comment or question anyone wants to be discussed? All right.
It doesn't seem to be okay. So thank you very much, Mataji. We're on a little bit past the hour. And of course, you've given such wonderful, wonderful, wonderful food for thought and also points to practice on. So thank you very much for a nice class. So dear devotees, have a nice, wonderful day, and please go to the temple if you can to do the Kartik, or of course, offer the candle at home also. But of course, if you can make it to the temple or be at home, choose the temple instead. Go to the temple because always, you can associate with other devotees there. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Parikshit Prabhu. Thank you, Anasuya Mataji. Thank you, devotees.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Kartik.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.